Club football is back. The international period is over, and what better way to mark that return than with an England shirt. I'm so backwards. Hello guys and welcome back to the Sam Payton YouTube channel. Today we've got another Premier League predictions view and we've got a cracking weekend of football coming up. Starting things off though, we're going to look back at my results from last week, and I'm not going to lie, I had an absolute stinker. I got 19 points out of a possible 50. I got one correct result, which was the Liverpool-Chelsea game, but ultimately it wasn't really a great week in terms of my predictions. So let's hope to do better this time round. Starting this weekend of football off, we've got Crystal Palace at home to Tottenham, and I can't help but feel like this is going to be a really long game for Crystal Palace. They've still yet to win in their first 3 games of the season, drawing their last 2. Tottenham, on the other hand, have won all 3 of their games, so already they're in a fantastic position for this game. This is made worse for Crystal Palace when you look at the fact that in the last 5 meetings between these 2 teams, Tottenham have won 3 and the others have been draws. So Crystal Palace are yet to win in their last 5 games against Tottenham. I think this is going to be a really long day for Crystal Palace. Harry Kane's had a fantastic international period with England and he's going to transfer that form hopefully back to Tottenham. Tottenham are defending well as it is. Crystal Palace are struggling to score goals. I think this is going to be a long day for them and I'm going to go for 2-0 to Tottenham. Moving on to the 3 o'clock kickoffs now, and we've got 2 teams who have yet to pick up any points in their first 3 games of the season so far, and that is Arsenal and Norwich. 20th place versus 19th place. This is outrageous for Arsenal, but it's also a fantastic opportunity for them to pick up some points. Let's face it, Arsenal's squad is miles above the squad of Norwich and they should be taking all 3 points away from this game. When you're looking at their head-to-head, the last 5 games, Arsenal have actually won 3 and drawn 2. So a bit like with Crystal Palace and Tottenham, Norwich have not been able to beat the London side for 5 games. Arsenal are strong favourites for this in my opinion, and that is why I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Arsenal. I think this is really going to kickstart their season. The second of the 3 o'clock kickoffs now, we've got Brentford versus Brighton. We got the battle of the bees, or the battle of the birds and the bees. Brentford are unbeaten so far in the league. They've drawn 2 and won 1. So in terms of a dream start to their first Premier League campaign in about 70 years, this is going pretty well for them so far. Brighton, on the other hand, have actually lost 1 game. Despite losing 1 game, Brighton, on the other hand, have won 2 games, leaving them on 6 points and 8th in the league. I think this is a really even game, and I think this is going to be a good chance for both teams to try and pick up some points here. I can't quite pick apart the 2 sides, so I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I feel like there's going to be goals in this one. Ivan Toney opened his account for the season in the last game that they played before the international break. Morpé's look deadly this season, so I think it's really going to be a face-off between those 2 strikers and ultimately seeing who can score the most amount of goals. For me, I can't pick them apart, and that is why I've gone for 2-2. Leicester versus Manchester City is the game we're going to talk about next. The replay of the Community Shield, which obviously Leicester won 1-0. Both teams at the start of the campaign have won 2 and lost 1. Looking at the last 5 games, Man City have won 4, Leicester winning 1. And this is going to be a low-scoring game, I think. I think it's going to be a bit like the Chelsea-Liverpool game last week, where you're going to find both teams trying to cancel each other out, not wanting to drop points. But I think when you look at the squad and the first team of Manchester City, it's really hard to look past them. I'm going to go for 2-0 to Manchester City. I think their relentless pressure is going to be just too much for Leicester to deal with. I think they're going to cave in, and I don't think they're going to be able to hold on like they did in the Community Shield. Moving on to the next game, we've got the other side of Manchester. We've got Manchester United taking on their former player Steve Bruce managing Newcastle United. And it's the return of Cristiano Ronaldo. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed that he will 100% be playing in the game against Newcastle. So there's excitement for the neutrals, excitement for the Manchester United fans, and let's face it, if you're a Newcastle fan, you should be shitting yourself. Man United have won 4 out of the last 5 games, with Newcastle winning the other, and Newcastle are still yet to pick up a win in their campaign this season. Do I think they're going to be able to pick up a win? No, I don't think they're going to be able to pick up any points in this game. I think it's going to be a long game for them. Manchester United showing that they can pick up ugly wins like they did against Wolves in the last game, and that's crucial for a team that's going to be challenging for the title. So I think this game is going to finish 3-0 to Manchester United. I think it's going to be a long day for those travelling Newcastle fans, but I just think Manchester United are going to be way too much, especially with Ronaldo on the pitch and in the dressing room. Moving on now, we're going to the St Mary's Stadium where Southampton are taking on West Ham. West Ham still managing to carry on that impressive form from last season and absolutely tearing it up in the Premier League so far. They brought in Kurt Zouma and a handful of other really good signings in the transfer window who I think are going to really helped them. Southampton, on the other hand, obviously letting a lot of their best players go, so they are significantly weaker as a result of that. Southampton were obviously impressive in the way that they managed to take a couple of points off Manchester United, but crucially they've failed to deceive so far this season. They've been par of the course and they are yet to pick up a win so far in their first 3 games. In fact, in the last 5 games that these two teams have played against each other, Southampton have only managed to pick up 1 draw, with West Ham winning the rest. So this is clearly a fixture that they're looking to avoid, especially when West Ham are in the form that they're in. With that being said, I don't think it's going to be a total thrashing. I think that West Ham are going to play well, but I don't think that they're going to completely dominate the game. My score prediction for this game is Southampton 1, West Ham 2. Moving on now, we've got Watford versus Wolves, and this is a battle of the W's. Watford obviously started off their campaign with a win against Aston Villa, but they haven't been able to pick up any points since that game. And Wolves, on the other hand, have lost all 3 of their games. And when you look at how well they've played in the games that they've lost, it's really hard to believe that they have in fact picked up 0 points this season in all of their 1-0 losses. I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I think this is going to be a really crucial game for Wolves to try and pick up some points here. I think they're going to take all 3 points, and I think they're going to win 3-0. I think it's going to be convincing. I think Watford have shown that they're a little bit leaky at the back and they're still not quite up to scratch with the pace of the Premier League, especially with a couple of mistakes that they've made at the back. The Wolves are quite literally going to be out to get them. They're going to be hungry to pick up some points, and I don't think they're going to take any prisoners. Up next is the late kickoff on Saturday, and we've got Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa obviously very nearly spoiled the party for Chelsea last season in their bid for trying to qualify for the Champions League, which we ultimately managed thanks to Leicester bottling it. But this Aston Villa team are special, and they're a good group of players who've shown us last season and the rest of the league this season that they are a team not to be underestimated. I'd say for both these teams so far, it's been par of the course, barring the loss to Watford that Aston Villa had. And I think we really are going to be on for a good game of football. I think it's going to be close, and Chelsea are going to have to be really resilient at the back, which we have been so far this season, if we want to make sure that we're not going to be threatened by Aston Villa. I think it's going to be a really tight game, but I back Chelsea to the hills. I think it's going to be Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0. I think we're going to cancel them out. Next up, we've got the 1 kickoff on Sunday, which is unusual because there's usually a couple. We've got Leeds United at home to Liverpool, and this is going to be a spectacular game if it's anything like the games that they played last season. Leeds are yet to pick up a win in their campaign so far this season, obviously losing the first game against Manchester United and drawing their last 2 games. Liverpool, on the other hand, are unbeaten, winning their first 2 and drawing against Chelsea. So Liverpool are obviously on the better run of form here. Leeds have bought Dan James, and it'll be interesting to see whether he gets his first start or make his first appearance off the bench for Leeds in this game. But I don't think he's a player that will single-handedly have the ability to make the difference in a game of this magnitude. I don't think it's going to be a total whitewash. In fact, I think it's going to be a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw for Leeds and Liverpool. Both teams will obviously be wanting the win, but I think the attacking quality of both teams, mixed with the fact that they are both going to be wanting to get a decent result from this game, is going to make it an interesting spectacle, and I can't quite pick a winner out of these 2 teams. I think it's going to be a good result for Leeds fans, and I think that Liverpool fans are going to be hoping for something more, but I think taking a point against Leeds away from home is a good result, especially when Ellen Road is full and bouncing. Last but not least, we have got Everton at home to Burnley. Burnley only managing 1 draw in their first 3 games, whereas Everton, on the other hand, have got 2 wins and 1 draw. They are unbeaten in the league so far this season. In terms of these 2 teams' last 5 meetings, it's a complete even split, with both teams winning 2 each and drawing the other game, proving that this fixture is a lot tighter than people think. With that being said, I have kept on saying that I do think that Burnley are going to struggle. They're away from home, and their away record isn't fantastic in the league. Quite frankly, Everton have got a side that is miles above this Burnley team. So for Burnley to get anything from this will be nothing short of a miracle, in my opinion. I think Everton are going to run away with this. I think it's going to be 3-0 to Everton. I think it's going to be convincing, and I don't see a way where Burnley are going to get a good result from this. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure you comment below your predictions. I'm still waiting for someone to comment so I can shout you out. It's getting embarrassing now. So if you want to get shout out by some random bloke on the internet for a prediction that, I mean, you might be the only one, so your predictions could be shit at this point and you're still getting shout out. But nevertheless, thank you so much for watching. If you are still watching at this point, it means a lot to me. And if you could leave a like, subscribe, that would mean even more. I've got some more football vlogs coming out. They're videos that I enjoy doing, and clearly looking at the views that they get and the interaction that they get with you, these videos are clearly ones that are popular with you guys. So without further ado, thank you so much for watching. Take care, peace and love.